Hey everybody, this is Roxy from the Right Now House, and I am here with a friend of mine, an author, published author, Pastor Lincoln Serwanga. So good to have you, Pastor Lincoln. So good to see you.
It's good. It's good to connect back with you, Roxy.
I feel like I haven't seen you in like a year since the lockdown 101, and
You
now.
see? Yes. Hopefully things will thaw out and we'll be able to see each other physically one of these days.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So Pastor Lincoln, I thought we'd jump right into it.
Yes.
One of the reasons that I asked you to come on is
Mm.
because I had so much fun working with you last year as you were writing your book, Seven Keys. Such fun. And also because you are one of the first authors I worked with in terms of having like a mastermind, a programmed way in helping authors to publish their books. Actually, Pastor Lincoln, from our conversations and our working together, I added a session into the mastermind where I was just talking to authors about validation and the inner work of writing a book. So yeah, you're in history as the person.
Yeah, I hope I was the first to publish because that would make me more of a celebrity in your.
You definitely were. Actually. You definitely were. You pushed through. So the reason I wanted you to come on is there's so many ministers. You're a minister, and there's so many ministers who, well, we do a lot of speaking week in, week out. Some of the people even daily, but not so many are writing or putting their books out there. So I thought, as a minister, a veteran minister, you can come on and just share a little bit about your journey. Why did you decide to write the book? What helped you the most during, the mastermind and everything, and like why go ahead and do it? Yeah, I mean, you're already influencing enough. Why go ahead and write? Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's fantastic for me to have the opportunity. The book is right here. I don't know that it's very visible there.
The title,
because it's completely white, and so it whites out everything. But you see, yes, I have been in ministry for over 30 years.
Wow.
I will be turning 60 soon. And that's big. Now, what's a 60-year-old doing consulting this? I'm going to guess your age. I know ladies' ages shouldn't be discussed. But you see, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how long you've been at this. You come to a realization that you're proficient in certain things, but you need help in others. Now, I'm the kind of guy to get up, pick up a subject, and over 30 years of preaching, I can fabricate something. I will say something and sound pretty good. Now, that does not compare to how many efforts, how many false starts actually I had in trying to write, because I found the speaker is completely different from the writer. It's a completely different journey. But you keep saying to yourself as a minister, this is my trade, this is my world, I can do this. And then you sit down and you find that you are caught up in a mess that you can't disentangle yourself out of, because I think we need to understand the need to find help and support in stepping into new fields of expression in the very area of being stewards of the word of God. Ministers, pastors, preachers, we open our mouths and we develop the skill of communication orally. But writing is a slightly different twist. Now, some pastors ignore the signals of you can't do this, and they just write anyway. And they end up creating stuff. I can't tell you how many books I have in my shelves given to me by my friends who are pastors. And I'm thinking, what are you saying? Why didn't you look for help? Why didn't you ask somebody to help you? Because you don't have to know everything. So I want to thank God for your input, because I'm trying to even remember who told me about you. Jesus, I do not remember.
I know that Pastor Hassan is the one who connected us, so I don't know if.
Yes. Pastor Hassan, I was visiting Chigali and Hassan was on your course. And he said, Pastor, I've had enough, because every time I went to Rwanda, I would say, Pastor, when are you writing? Pastor, when are you writing? When you're speaking, I hear books.
Yeah.
But you see, when I speak like a book, but when I write like a mess. And so, and so Hassan said, I'm getting you connected to a coach.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh Lord, who is this? What is it going to be like? But you see, you do need a coach, and thank God for a coach that works, because sometimes you connect with somebody and it doesn't work. The chemistry is wrong, the temperament's wrong, and I really dread meeting dull, boring people. I want a bit of a spark. I want a bit of life, and connecting you was so much fun.
Yeah, we had so much fun.
And I thought, I can do this because I found somebody who is exuberant and connective and relational, but also knowledgeable and impactful. So I think I've answered all the questions that you asked me at the beginning.
And more, all the questions and more.
Here it is. And it was to me, and I'm running back to you for my second book, because you see, again, the moment I finished this, my brain switched back to speaking mode. I'm now thinking, what did Roxana say? What did Roxana say? How do I start this? And it's okay to run to you and say, Roxana, say it all again, because I still need to sink in. I know I can write. Once I'm pointed in the right direction, I am away. And so there are things that you shared, Roxana, which it's like, why couldn't I think that out myself? It's so common sense.
Yeah.
Common sense can be such rare sense. So.
and Pastor Lincoln, that thing that you said about, coming back for the second book, I've found that you can actually do the coaching with every book. Like, I mean, I have an editor. I'm an editor, but when I'm working on my book, I have a friend of mine who's an editor, Paul Chisache, who I work with. And it's not shame. It's not a bad thing to have someone to help you through it.
It's called humility.
Yeah. So what would you say was like, I don't know if you remember, I mean, this was a year ago, but what would you say was like maybe that specific thing that helped accelerate you, like maybe a light bulb or something that you had, or like in that moment you're like, okay, I can totally do this, and you are accelerated to finish the book?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, for me, I always look back to that, and that I feel has actually helped me create a couple of scripts skeletally. What you said to me that I thought was a game changer was the writing of an outline. So that I can see the whole thing, because the way that I am, I'm very spontaneous. I just go with the flow, and whatever structure emerges with the flow, we'll go with that. Now, I wrote 7 Keys a couple of times. I preached this message for most of the last 20 years. Yeah. It's an old message. So I knew the sinews of it. I knew the structure of it. And every time it came out differently, audience adaptation and all that kind of stuff. And that was the problem. That was the blessing and the problem, because I just felt I know this stuff. And so I sit at my computer and I'm away. But in the end, you feel like, no, it's not just about whether you know the sinews of it. How is it best structured so that the journey is more comprehensible? And so you sending me back, I remember I actually sent you a script and said, here it is, Roxana, it's ready for editing and all that kind of stuff. And you kept pushing me back to structure. Yeah. And I sat down one day and said, okay, all right, the content is in there, but how can I make it flow and rhythm through each chapter? And so I created an outline. When I finished the outline, I felt like I'd invented the light bulb. It was like, now I understand my own message even better because I laid it out in a way that you helped me understand and create the same approach for each chapter. And once that outline was in place, I was away. Yeah. I just was away. I just felt I was flying because I didn't need content. I just needed structure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my writer's block was because I was getting tangled up.
Yeah.
The structuring process, because inspiration comes different when you're speaking from when you're writing. So that was it for me. The outline was a game changer.
The content was already on the inside of you. You just needed someone to show you the framework on how to put it out. Amazing. So I think that what we're going to do is that we're going to have maybe a link in the comments for where people can maybe find the book. I know that there's a contact person in Uganda as well. Maybe her phone number in there, so that, because I know people are going to be curious, what's this book? This content he's had for 20 years, and at last the book is out, The 7 Keys. It's actually a really, really good book. You have a way of simplifying things. I found that very refreshing. I know the book will be so helpful for anyone who will get it. So thank you so much, Pastor Lincoln, for making the time.
It's a pleasure. Yes, there are just a few of these out there, because you see, it's a whole thing. Writing a book is another marketing.
Exactly.
And again, that's why it's important to connect to a house like Right Now House, because there you can network beyond producing the work. You need to enter a world and learn so many more lessons, including marketing and exposing yourself to the reading community in your country. So, we'll probably connect that and see how many are left. I'm not too sure how many are left. I need to send another box when we can. Yes.
Uganda.
Thank you.
We should put the book on Amazon as well, so that people can just get it off Kindle.
It actually is on Amazon. It is on .co.uk and .com.
Okay.
It can be downloaded as an ebook. The difficulty with printing it, by the time it is shipped,
the shipping. So
it's
maybe the Ugandans will do Kindle mostly.
Yeah, the ebook is up there, so you guys can reach it.
Great. Okay. Thank you so much, Pastor Lincoln. I appreciate you. Thank you for making the time for me.
Looking forward to book number 2. Please watch out. I'm coming.
Great.